Hey everyone, this is Narendra and you're watching to my channel BioGuru. Today in this video we are going to learn about gynoecium. Gynoecium represent female reproductive part of flower. So here the centrally placed structure, it is of female reproductive system or female reproductive part. So the individual unit is called as pistil or carpel. The whorl of this pistil or carpel is called as gynoecium. So it is having certain parts like this one, it is stigma, and here the lower part which is long slender tubular structure, that is style, and below that there is a swollen part that is called as ovary. So here in flower, in different flowers you may see the different in the number of carpels. So based on that, the flowers can be of two types, that is monocarpellary and multicarpellary. Here the monocarpellary, mono means single, carpellary means here the carpel. If there is only one single carpel is present in the flower, then that condition is called as monocarpellary. In some flower you may see more than one carpel. So in that condition it is called as multicarpellary. Multicarpellary condition could be of two types further, right? So that is apocarpus and syncarpus. Apocarpus means here when many carpels are present in the flower but they are free from each other, right? So that condition is called as apocarpus. So overall, how we are going to define, how we are going to describe that type of flower if they are having more carpels and free from each other, and they are free from each other, that is called as multicarpellary apocarpus condition. Clear? Multicarpellary, why? It is because there are more carpels are present and they are free from each other. So hence apocarpus, multicarpellary apocarpus condition. So if you take the example, that is Michaelia. So when we talk about the syncarpus, in syncarpus condition, many carpels are present but they are fused with each other, right? So that condition is called as syncarpus. So overall, how we are going to describe multicarpellary syncarpus. Multicarpellary, it is because there are more carpels are present but they are fused with each other. So syncarpus. Here the example for syncarpus condition is hibiscus and papaver. Now here if you look at the single carpel, so here you will see the stigma which is receptacle for pollen grains. So pollen grains are when after the production of the pollen grains, they are transferred, pollinated, and they are received on this part, that is stigma. So stigma act as a receptacle for pollen grains. So below that there is a long slender structure that is called as a style. So below that there is a bulged portion, basal bulged portion, that is called as ovary. So here inside the ovary you will see a special type of tissue that is called as placenta, which is a nudity tissue for certain structures which are present in the ovary, right? So what are those structures? They are ovules, or they are also called as megasporangium. So these are the structure, they are found inside the ovary. There is a space inside the ovary that is called as locule. Inside the locule, placenta along with that ovules are arranged. What are the things are present in the ovary? First of all, there is a chamber called locule, and there is a nudity tissue that is called as placenta, to which certain structures are attached, that is called as ovule, or they are also known as megasporangium. So now in our next slide we are going to study about ovule or megasporangium. Megasporangium or ovule. So here this is the structure of ovule, diagrammatic view of a typical anatropous ovule. So there are types of ovule are there based on the orientation. So here we are going to discuss only about the structure of ovule, not the different types of ovules. So if you want to study about the different type of ovule, then write down in the comment box. I will try to make video on that. So here one of the type what I have shown here is anatropous ovule, right? So let us study about its structure. So here this part, actually this is the whole ovule and this one is a stalk. So this stalk of the ovule is called as funicle, right? So the region where this is the region where this ovule and funicle is attached, right? So this particular in this line, right? So this one is called as hilum. It is the region where funicle and ovule are attached. What is that called as? Hilum. Clear? Now the whole ovule is having two covers. There are two coverings, right? So here this one is the outer integument. Those coverings are called as integuments. So the outer one, outer integument. So there is a one more integument. So that is called as inner integument. Clear? Now, if you look at this portion where this region is not actually covered by integument, right? The region of the ovule where it is not covered by the integument, that is called as micropyle. What it is called as? It is called as micropyle. What is micropyle? The region of the ovule where it is not covered by integuments, right? There is a small opening. That is called as micropyle. Now, the region opposite to the micropyle, this is the micropyle and its opposite region, that means this one. So this region is called as chalaza. What it is called as? Chalaza. What is that? The region opposite to that of micropyle where it is actually covered by integuments. Clear? Now, inside the integument, this region is actually a nutritive tissue. It is having nutritive tissue. So this nutritive tissue is called as nucellus, not nucleus. It is nucellus. Clear? Nucellus, it is the nutritive tissue enclosed in the integuments of ovule. So inside the nucellus, there is a special structure, this one, right? So this is called as what? Embryo sac. What it is called as? Embryo sac, or it is also known as female gametophyte. Clear? So in our next slide, we are going to study about in detail about embryo sac or female gametophyte. How it is going to develop, that we are going to study. Now, megasporogenesis. What is this megasporogenesis? Megasporogenesis is the process of formation of megaspore from megaspore mother cell. In short, MMC. 1 marks important. MMC, full form, expand MMC. That is megaspore mother cell. What is the megasporogenesis? Megasporo means here the megaspores. Genesis means here to produce, right? So its definition will become like this: the process of formation of megaspore. Which spore are produced or which spores are formed here? Megaspores. From where? Megaspore mother cells. Clear? The process of formation of megaspore from a megaspore mother cell is called as megasporogenesis. Let us see. So here this diagram is from the ovule, right? Here you can see the micropylar end. Just now we have studied in our previous slide. Here we have taken only the nucellus, few cells of nucellus, and we have discarded, we have not shown here the integuments and all, funicle and all, chalaza and all. So here obviously here when we have written as a micropylar end, obviously the opposite end will become the chalazal end, right? So before the formation of embryo sac, there is a cell inside which is a large, that is called as megaspore mother cell. In short, MMC. And this cell is a diploid, which is represented by 2n. 2n means the number of chromosome, the number of sets of chromosome. 2n means 2 sets of chromosomes are present, whatever may be the number of chromosomes, but here 2 sets are present. We know that in different organism, if they are diploid, 2 sets of chromosome. If they are haploid, if the cells are haploid, then only one set of chromosomes are present. So here, before the development of or before the formation of embryo sac or the female gametophyte, inside the ovule there is only one single large cell that is called as megaspore mother cell, and it is a diploid. Now this megaspore mother cell undergo meiotic cell division. Meiosis, if you remember meiosis, it is reductional cell division, where the number of chromosomes are reduced to half. Right? And we also know that in meiosis there are two rounds of cell cycle. Two rounds of cell division. Meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So during first round of cell division, that is in meiosis 1, this single megaspore mother cell undergo division in order to produce two cells. Initially there was only one cell. After undergoing meiosis 1, it gives rise to two cells, right? And this condition is called as megaspore dyad. Why dyad here? Dyad means here two. Dyad representing the two cells. This stage is called as megaspore dyad. And here the cells are haploid, which is represented by single N. That means after undergoing meiosis, which cell is undergoing meiosis? Megaspore mother cell here, this cell, which is a diploid. After undergoing meiosis 1, resulting two cells are haploid. Clear? So here the number of chromosomes are reduced to half. 2n will become only n. So this one particular cell is a haploid and this one is also haploid. And this happens in meiosis 1. Now, after producing two haploid cells, which are called as megaspore dyad, further these two cells undergo meiosis 2. So after undergoing meiosis 2, then each cell is going to give rise to two cells. So this one particular cell is going to give rise to two cells, and this cell is going to give rise to two cells. Here the number of chromosomes are going to remain same. So total how many cells are produced after meiosis 2? Total 4 cells are produced. So hence it is called as megaspore tetrad, and each cell is a haploid. Now further development, right? 3 cells out of 4 megaspores are going to degenerate. They just degenerate. Only one cell out of 4 is going to remain as it is. Means it is going to remain functional. So out of 4 megaspore, 3 got degenerated and 1 megaspore is remaining as a functional. Clear? From here the further development is going to take place. So overall, now this process is called as what? Megasporogenesis. Here the megaspore is produced. From where it is produced? It is produced from megaspore mother cell. The process of formation of megaspore from megaspore mother cell is called as megasporogenesis. I hope you have understood. So now we are going to study about what is going to happen with this functional megaspore. Further development we are going to study in our next slide. Now let us study about the development of female gametophyte, that is embryo sac. Let me consider this functional megaspore, which is haploid, and here I have written it as a micropylar end. So opposite to that will become chalazal end. Now this functional megaspore, which is haploid, will undergo mitosis. We know that in mitosis, two events are going to take place. Mainly, first the nuclear division is going to take place, that is called as karyokinesis, and then the whole cell is going to divide into two cells, that is called as cytokinesis. But here during the development, here in mitosis only the nuclear division is going to take place. That means the cell is going to remain as it is. Means only one cell is going to remain. Inside that, number of nucleus is going to change. So after undergoing nuclear division, this single cell, obviously the cell size is going to differ, but the number of cell is going to remain same. But inside that, if you observe, there was only one single nucleus. Now it has undergone nuclear division, particularly of mitosis. right? So here this stage is called as 2 nucleated stage. Cell is one, but inside that there are 2 nuclei. So hence 2 nucleated stage. And these 2 nuclei, they migrate towards opposite pole. Find one nucleus you will find towards one pole, and another one nucleus you will find towards the another pole. After this, once again, these nucleus undergo mitosis, that means nuclear division. So after undergoing nuclear division, once again this single nucleus is going to become 2 nuclei, and this single nucleus is also going to become 2 nuclei. So overall there are 4 nuclei. So hence this stage is called as 4 nucleated stage. So after this, once again these nuclei will undergo division, resulting into the formation of 8 nucleated stage. So these 2 will divide and give rise to 4 nuclei, and here these 2 nuclei going to divide and going to form another 4 nuclei. So towards one pole you will find 4 nuclei, towards the another pole. So overall there are 8 nuclei. So hence this stage is called as 8 nucleated stage. Soon after the formation of 8 nucleated stage, these nucleus will rearrange and it is going to form a matured embryo sac. So this is the structure of matured embryo sac. Out of 4, 3 nuclei will remain towards one pole, around which the cell wall is laid down, and they are going to form the 3 cells. And here also towards the another pole, 3 nuclei are going to remain in this region only, where around that the cell wall is going to form. So they will get transformed into a cells. So out of 8, 2 nuclei will migrate towards the center, and they are going to remain as it is. Clear? So this is the structure of a mature embryo sac, which is also called as female gametophyte. Now the question is, after how many nuclear division from the functional megaspore this mature embryo sac is produced? Let us count. So here one nuclear division has taken place. There is a one more nuclear division, that is second and third. So total how many nuclear division has happened over here? 1, 2 and 3. So after 3 times of nuclear division, this functional megaspore is going to develop into a mature embryo sac, that is female gametophyte. Now this development is called as monosporic development. What is this monosporic development? The development of mature embryo sac from a single functional megaspore. I repeat, development of mature embryo sac from single functional megaspore is called as monosporic development. Monosporic, here only single functional megaspore is going to divide into a mature embryo sac. So now in our next slide we are going to study about this mature embryo sac, the structure of this mature embryo sac. So let us see. Now let us study about the mature female gametophyte, that is embryo sac. So here this is the structure of female gametophyte or embryo sac. So this one is a micropylar end, and opposite to that it is a chalazal end. Clear? Now towards this end, that is towards the chalazal end, there are 3 cells. These cells are called as antipodals. Now towards the micropylar end, you will see another 3 cells. Out of these 3 cells, these 2 cells are called as synergids. And synergids at the bottom, if you observe, there are finger-like projections. These are called as filiform apparatus. This filiform apparatus helps in leading the pollen tubes into the synergids. Now there is a one more cell here. This cell is called as egg cell. Right? Now the egg cell and synergids, both these cells are called as egg apparatus. What is egg apparatus? Together egg cell and synergids, they are called as egg apparatus, and this egg apparatus, it is found towards the micropylar end only. Please remember that. Now there is a one more large cell that is called as central cell. Inside that you will find 2 nuclei, those are called as polar nuclei. Now if you count the number of cells over here. How many cells are there? Let us count. Chalazal end, towards the chalazal end, you will see 3 antipodals. How many? 3 antipodal cells are present. So this is the 3 cells. And towards the micropilar end, there are another 3 cells are present, which are known as egg apparatus. So 3 towards chalazal end, another 3 towards micropilar end. 3 plus 3, how many cells? 6 cells. So there is a one more cell, this one, central large cell. So 6 plus 1, central cell, 7 cell. Clear? So a typical mature female gametophyte consisting of 7 cells. And if you count the number of nuclei, you will find 8. Let us count. So towards the chalazal end, that means in antipodals there are 3 nuclei. Towards the center there are 2 polar nuclei. So 3 plus 2, 5. And towards micropilar end, in egg apparatus there are another 3 nuclei. So 5 plus 3, 8. So overall, a mature female gametophyte is 7-celled 8-nucleated structure. That's it for today. Hope you found this video useful. If so, hit like button, share this video with your friends, classmates, and if you are teacher, share this video with your colleagues. If you are not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I will see you in my next video. Till then, take care.